So this is a further description of some wonderful qualities of Devahuti, how she served Kardama Muni, and as a result of this we will find Kardama Muni was very much satisfied, and the result was Devahuti was benedicted with a son, Kapila Muni. So, here are the qualities in which mood she served the husband. Vishrambhena, that means with lot of intimacy. Gauravena, not only being intimate, at the same time being very respectful, observing awe and reverence towards the husband. Then, Damenacha, controlling her mind. Shushushaya, she served. Sohradena means always desiring good for the husband. Vacha Madhuraya, with sweet words. So Prabhupada is explaining something very important about, one is about the Grahastha life, another is about how the same qualities with which the wife is supposed to serve the husband, similarly, a devotee is expected to serve the Supreme Lord with these qualities, especially Vishrambhena and Gauravena. So Prabhupada is explaining that actually Grahastha life is a life of mutual cooperation and advancement in spiritual life. Mutual cooperation means, just like we find the example Prabhupada gives about Vedic civilization and the Western civilization. Today, in the modern world, the remnants of Vedic civilization is still left over in India. But unfortunately, India is poverty-stricken. The Western civilization does not have these important values to guide them, but they are well situated, opulent, they have all kinds of facilities. So Prabhupada wanted that for the welfare of the whole world, important guidance, these values which guide the whole world, and the facilities and advancement and technology and the progress which the Western country has made, if they combine together, then actually we can bring about a revolution in the whole world in Krishna consciousness. And that is what exactly Prabhupada did. That is what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wanted to do. He wanted Prabhupada to go to the Western countries and convince them. So sometimes Prabhupada used to give the example of the blind and the lame man. The blind man has strong legs, he can walk, but he cannot see. The lame man cannot walk, but he has eyes, he can give guidance. And so, if both of them cooperate together, then both of them will be able to go ahead, walk front. Similarly, Grahastha life is a life of mutual cooperation. Man has certain psychology, woman has certain psychology. This has to be understood. This is all on material platform. On spiritual platform, there is absolutely no difference. Just like, even though materially, on material platform, a woman may be considered to be weaker, but on spiritual platform, we are now seeing Devabhuti is a great, not only great wife, she is a great devotee of the Lord. So much so that the Lord agreed to be her son. We see in Bhagavatam itself prayers offered by Kunti Maharani. We may be men, many of us, but we still read and appreciate and contemplate on the words of Maharani Kunti. So on spiritual platform, there is no distinction between I am man, you are woman, I am superior, you are inferior. Rather, if we remain in those distinctions, we will not be able to advance. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's very clear instruction is Naham Vipro, I am not Brahmana. All these are material designation. Nor we are Shudras. Nor even if somebody has taken sannyas, not that he recognizes himself with that designation as sannyasi. The soul is neither Brahmana, nor Shudra, nor men, nor woman. All those things we should not recognize. But we have to be also practical in this material world. We are given a certain psychology, we are given a certain kind of body, and according to that, if we act, then we will advance. Brahmana has a certain psychology, Kshatriya has a certain psychology, Shudra has a certain psychology. So Shudra can also become a topmost devotee provided he understands that I am dependent in my conditional state. In my conditional state, I must take instruction from the Brahmana. And if I act according to the direction of the Brahmana, then I will also advance in spiritual life. So similar is the condition in man's psychology and woman's psychology. Man, according to his bodily constitution, his mental constitution, is superior in strength. Woman, on the other hand, by bodily constitution, is actually weaker in strength. So, the combination of a Grahastha life is, man gives therefore protection to the woman who is dependent in that aspect. And woman on the other hand, just like Prabhupada is giving her example, she has some great qualities. She can speak very, very sweetly. And the man who actually goes out, especially in the Vedic civilization, woman is not an earning member. It is the man who goes out and he works hard and everything, and he faces the external world. And when he faces the external world and when he comes back to the house, and if the wife is not sober and speaks sweetly, then Chanakya Pandit says, then for such a man, Aranyam is also same as Graham. Then better he should leave his house and he should go to the forest. Just like in today's class, in today's conversation with Prabhupada, we were seeing Prabhupada is commenting specially on that. Krishna is saying, I am that sweet voice of a woman. That's how we find that even in the olden times, the kings and other, of course, materialistic kings, they would employ women for singing. You see, because that's a general tendency. One becomes attracted to the voice of a woman. So, woman has certain qualities. Just like Prabhupada is giving another quality. Woman can be very tolerant. Sometimes the husband may make a mistake. But if the woman also, fights with him, then actually it becomes difficult for household life to sustain. So the woman controls, and then, with small mistake, they forgive each other. So Prabhupada is contemplating on these points here. It's like Prabhupada is saying. Thus, the natural instinct is that the husband wants to post himself as superior to the wife, and this must be observed. Even if there is some wrong on the part of the husband, the wife must tolerate it, and thus there will be no misunderstanding between husband and wife. So this is how it has to be understood. And even it's not that husband does not tolerate, and it's only for the wife to tolerate. Prabhupada gives an example. Prabhupada says, sometimes there is no doubt there is a fighting between husband and wife also. And the example is given, it is just like the fighting of the goats. When the two goats are fighting, it looks like a very huge fight, but actually there is nothing in that. So similarly, the misunderstanding between husband and wife should be like that. It should not grow to the extent wherein it breaks their relationship. So that is not good. So, one of the very important points which Prabhupada is mentioning right in the beginning of this purport is that these two methods of serving which Devahuti has adopted is actually a very important aspect to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada is saying here the two words are very significant. Devahuti served her husband in two ways, Vishrambhena and Gauravena. These are two important processes in serving the husband or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, this is very important. There has to be, just like in the husband and wife, the relationship is of a friendly nature. Prabhupada is saying the intimate relationship between husband and wife is of a friendly nature. He says, with great reverence, the husband is a very intimate friend. Therefore, the wife must render service just like an intimate friend. Just like we find in the Bhagavad Gita also, this is said that the Supreme Lord, He is the most intimate friend of the living entity, seated right beside the living entity in the heart of every living entity. Sohridam sarva bhutanam. So here also the same word is used, Sohridam. So the husband and wife have to serve each other intimately in the form of a friend. Just like the friend is always the well-wisher of his another friend, similarly, husband and wife are well-wisher of each other. So that's what I said. With mutual cooperation with each other, both of them can advance in the service of God. So, here, just like the example Devahuti is setting, similarly, actually, if we learn this very important aspect, that we are very intimately related with the Supreme Lord. We are very intimately related with the Supreme Lord. This relationship, even though temporarily we may forget it, this relationship is never lost. Not that, Prabhupada gives an example. Let us say, for example, the son has forgotten his father. Does it mean their relationship is lost? The moment the son regains or revives his relationship, immediately they become once again intimately connected. Similarly, every living entity is most intimately connected with the Supreme Lord. The intimacy in this material world which we are having is actually the original intimacy. It's a reflection of the original intimacy which we have with the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada gives an example. Prabhupada says that it is just like the finger is intimately connected with the body. Correct? If anything happens to the finger, immediately I am pained. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is also pained when the living entity who are his part and parcel, they forget the Lord, they forget their relationship with the Lord. What do we call a finger when it does not serve the body? We call it a diseased finger. Right? Suppose the finger is cut away and it is thrown in the street. It may look like a finger, but it does not serve like a finger. This is our present condition. That actually, even though we are most intimately related with the Lord, we have no value. Finger, when it is connected with the body, it is valuable. One can spend thousands of rupees. Once it is disconnected, it has no value, it is useless. Similarly, whether it is the living entity, whether it is the society, whether it is family, whether it is nation, whether it is community, all of them have values when they are connected with the Supreme Lord. The moment we become disconnected with the Supreme Lord, there is no value. So Prabhupada, in few days back we were hearing in the class, Arjuna, with the example of Arjuna, Prabhupada explained how much deeply we are connected to the Supreme Lord. Arjuna, when the Lord disappeared from this earth, when the Lord wound off his pastimes, Arjuna for few moments, he was bewildered. He seemed to have forgotten his relationship with the Lord. We find this. When the Lord was present, Arjuna, when seemingly he was bewildered, the Lord guided him. And he came back to his senses. And he fought very valiantly. He is called Gudakesha. The same Gudakesha, the same Arjuna, when the Lord left this material world, he was once again bewildered. So then one may think that now where is Arjuna intimately connected with the Lord? No. Even though seemingly when the Lord is not present, still like Arjuna, every living entity is intimately connected with the Lord. Arjuna once again revived that intimate connection. Sohridena ati gadhena. That verse says like that. That deep, ati gadhena means very, very intimate, very, very deep relationship which Arjuna had with the Lord. As what? Sohradena, always the well-wisher. So Prabhupada says, not only for Arjuna, the Lord is the well-wisher for everyone. So just like Arjuna revived his relationship once again by contemplating on the instructions of the Lord, by contemplating on the lotus feet of the Lord. Similarly, with devotional service, we can also revive that intimate relationship with the Lord. So, in the beginning stage, in the sadhana bhakti, both are very important. We have to serve intimately and at the same time, Gauravena, we have to serve the Supreme Lord with great awe and reverence. This is very important. See, spontaneous devotional service of Mother Yashoda is different from negligent service rendered by disciple who has become familiar with the Lord, familiar with the holy name, familiar with the spiritual master. It is completely different. Mother Yashoda is not having awe and reverence. Friends of Krishna are climbing on the shoulders of Krishna. But that is not with negligence. That is completely different. There, awe and reverence becomes an obstacle in serving intimately the Supreme Lord. But at our stage in sadhana bhakti, negligence, familiarity which breeds contempt, actually that becomes a great obstacle in serving the Lord. So this has to be clearly understood. We should not be thinking, no, Mother Yashoda, she was chastising Krishna, she did not observe rules and regulations. Why should I observe rules and regulations? When I am worshipping the deities, let me also carry Krishna just like anything. Prabhupada, in one of his very important purport in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, spiritual master and Krishna, deities of the Lord specially, should be served from far, not from very closeness. And then Prabhupada is warning those who are the personal servant of the deities, the pujaris, they have to be very, very careful. If they develop familiarity, it will breed contempt. It will breed contempt. Then they will think, I can be negligent in my service. So, these are very, very important. Prabhupada gives one very wonderful example that how one can lose everything in his Krishna consciousness if familiarity breeds contempt. So intimacy has to be there in our state. But with intimacy, we should never forget we are servant, he is master. Similarly with the spiritual master. Just because spiritual master may give us sometimes some service, maybe sometimes it's personal service also, but that does not mean we should start thinking now spiritual master has become dependent on me. He requires my massage. He requires my service. Now he has become old and invalid. Without my service, he cannot do anything. See? No. Even his old invalidity is an arrangement by the Supreme Lord to give chance to his disciple who can serve him very, very intimately. It's a chance to serve the spiritual master intimately. But then we have to be very, very cautious. The veneration, the awe and respect must be maintained. This is an example which is set by Devahuti. that even though as a wife, as a great friend, she served Kardama Muni very intimately, very, very closely, but at the same time maintaining awe, veneration and respect. Prabhupada gives an example of Devatas, especially Indra. What happened was, Brahaspati, their spiritual master of the demigods, he would every day come in the assembly. So what happened over a period of time, Indra and the assembly, they became too familiar with his coming. And then what happened, because of becoming too familiar, one day when Brahaspati entered, none of them got up to pay respect to the spiritual master. Brahaspati did not say anything. He just walked away from that assembly. Because spiritual master cannot be disrespected like this. So in that context, Bhagavatam explains that the demons who were serving the inferior spiritual master like Shukracharya, but who had so much faith in him, who were serving him with intimacy, with reverence and awe, actually they were able to defeat Devatas even though they were of superior strength. When these Devatas were defeated, then Brahma came and then chastised them and said, "This is all due to your impudence. You took Brahaspati for granted. So much so that when he came, you did not even have, that much that you could get up from your seat and pay him some respect." So actually this is very, very important to understand. So similarly, all of us, in our devotional service, we have to serve intimately, but at the same time we must maintain that awe, respect, understanding our position as a humble servant of the Lord, never thinking that now I have become more than my spiritual master. See, Prabhupada wrote one letter to one of his disciples, one of his foremost disciple, and who had become very proud of himself because he had got opportunity to serve Prabhupada personally. But at the same time, he became too familiar with Prabhupada and thus disrespected Prabhupada. And the result was that completely he was bewildered and lost from his spiritual life. Such a great person. Actually, in his time, he was the most famous person in Krishna consciousness in ISKCON. All of you must have heard about Kirtanananda Swami. Later on, so much so it happened that he was jailed for years together. He was imprisoned and practically lost all assets of his spiritual life. He was completely, cut off from ISKCON, from Krishna consciousness. So, Prabhupada wrote a letter to him and to the other GBC members. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that for the fixed up devotee, there is only one duty. This duty is understood through the transparent via media of the spiritual master. You see, actually this is the secret of success. The secret of success, as Prabhupada is saying, that I don't have, many good qualities. I don't have so many assets with me. My only asset is that I simply try to serve my spiritual master's instruction as my life and soul. And Prabhupada gave the example that he had read from Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur when he is commenting on that verse, Ekeha Kuru Nandana Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. There Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, one should take the instructions of the spiritual master as his life and soul. Actually, this is a secret of success in spiritual life. If spiritual master becomes pleased, then Krishna is automatically pleased because he's a via media. He's a medium for us. Otherwise, there is no other way. It is better service to Krishna and spiritual master in a feeling of separation. See, this is very important. Prabhupada is saying, all of us should understand. It's a better service for all of us that we should serve our spiritual master and we should serve Krishna in the mood of separation. Sometimes there is a risk in the matter of direct service. Sometimes there is a risk in the mode of direct service, in the matter of direct service. For example, Kirtanananda was giving me direct service by massaging, cooking for me and so many other things. But later, by dictation of Maya, he became puffed up. So much so, he thought his spiritual master a common man and was existing on account of his service. Disciple is thinking, my spiritual master is existing on account of my service. He is surviving because I am serving him. Became so puffed up. Just imagine. This mentality at once pushed him down. Of course, but Prabhupada is saying actually, those who are sincere, they can take this direct service. They can take this direct service as a great opportunity to advance. We find that actually in Chaitanya Charitamrita, two disciples of Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, Ramachandra Puri. Ishwara Puri took it as a great advantage to serve his spiritual master when he was old and invalid. He did not think now my spiritual master has become dependent on me. Rather, he took it as a great advantage to serve, that the Lord has given very kindly this service. So much so that actually, practically, he was cleaning his stool. That much kind of menial service Ishwara Puri rendered. That's why we find he advanced so much that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as his spiritual master. And Ramachandra Puri was banished from the sight of Madhavendra Puri. So much so Madhavendra Puri said that before dying I don't want to see even his face. So this is the difference. So Prabhupada is saying, this mentality at once pushed him down. Of course, those who are sincere devotee, they take direct service as an opportunity. But the illusory energy is so strong that it acts on this doctrine of familiarity breeds contempt. Kirtanananda was thinking, I was existing on his service. Instead of realizing, I was giving him opportunity to do so, to do me some service. Actually, very kindly sometimes the spiritual master gives these kind of services to his disciples so that they can become intimately connected in service to the spiritual master. So actually we can understand intimately should always does not mean physical service. Physical intimacy is not always considered to be intimacy. Prabhupada gave that example that The spiritual master may be sitting on a Vyas asana, and on the same Vyas asana and on the same body, very intimately, one mosquito or a bed bug may also be sitting. But that does not mean physically intimately, that he is very physically intimate. That means he is very intimate with the spiritual master. Rather, Prabhupada says, somebody who may be very close to the spiritual master may have a different business. And his business may be to give harm to the spiritual master. You see? That is what we should understand. Simply, we should not be thinking that, okay, some devotees, they were there with Prabhupada and they were doing direct service to Prabhupada physically. So that means whatever they say is always true. No, that may not be true. We can see the example of Kirtanananda. Prabhupada gave him so much opportunity, but his only business was to harm Prabhupada. Isn't it? So like this. So we have to understand this very, very cautiously, that both the Supreme Lord, the deities of the Lord, the holy name of the Lord, and the spiritual master, they must be served with these two qualities: intimacy, and at the same time, one has to be Gauraveda, one has to be very respectful. So especially Prabhupada is warning the pujaris who are every day who may be doing service of the deity. They should not become familiar with the deity so much so then they start thinking that whatever way I do is alright. You see, that should not happen. So in that sense we have to understand it very, very cautiously. Another very nice example Prabhupada gives about this familiarity, how it breeds content, is about this example is also given in Bhagavatam. That, of course, this example should not be misunderstood. This is a Leela of the Lord, where Vasudeva, Krishna is present before him, and Vasudeva is going and trying to take instructions from other saintly people. So they are telling to Vasudeva, the Supreme Lord is present in your house. It is just like, they are giving the example to Vasudeva. It is just like, you are living near Ganga and then you are going to Haridwar to take bath. In West Bengal you will find many people are living, the same Ganga only which is coming from Haridwar is also coming to West Bengal. Isn't it? But they are thinking this is not pilgrimage is somewhere else. So this is called familiarity breeds contempt. Another example Prabhupada gives is from Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur also gives us an advice, very important, very interesting advice. He says, until and unless we have attained spontaneous devotional service, same example, all these great personalities like Nanda Maharaj or all the friends of Krishna, Yashoda, all of them are spontaneously connected with the Lord. So their dealing with the Lord may not be in awe and reverence. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur is saying, not only for the deities, not only for the holy name, even for the holy dham, this has to be observed. See, this is very interesting, very important. Otherwise, sometimes, even residing in holy dham, we will breed contempt. We will take it for granted. Vrindavan is also same as any other, but so many places are there. I am also residing there. No. See, this is very important. Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Goswami, they are residing in Vrindavan. Just like Raghunath Das Goswami, he was residing in Radhakund, isn't it? So, residing in Radhakund, he is spontaneously attached to the Lord. so much spontaneously attached, he has no time for eating, sleeping. He used to sleep hardly for a few hours, he used to eat hardly in 2-3 days, he would drink just one glass of buttermilk. So much spontaneously they were attached. So until and unless we are spontaneously attached to the Lord, we have developed that attachment, we should not reside for a long time in Vrindavan. Prabhupada says, better to give a short visit. It's a practical advice. So that we will retain that awe, respect, veneration. Otherwise, we will be committing offenses at the Holy Dham. You see? So, these are some of the instructions which we can understand here by the example of Devahuti. That simultaneously Vishrambhena and Gauravena, these are two very important qualities Prabhupada is saying, by which he was serving Kardama Muni, and Prabhupada is saying that these two important qualities are required not only to serve in the family life but also the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Stop with this Grantarashim Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.